Have you ever noticed the strange metal mesh embedded in the door of your microwave? At first glance, it seems like a contradiction. After all, we've all heard the warning, never put metal inside a microwave. Yet the entire door has a sheet of metal with hundreds of tiny holes, and somehow that's perfectly safe. So why is it there? Is it protecting the food? Is it strengthening the glass? Or is it stopping something much more dangerous from escaping? Today we're uncovering the science hidden behind one of the most overlooked parts of a kitchen appliance right here on History of Simple Things. To understand the mesh, we first need to understand what a microwave oven actually does. Unlike a conventional oven that heats the air around your food, a microwave oven produces electromagnetic waves called microwaves. These waves are generated by a device called a magnetron, which converts electricity into high-frequency radio waves. Most household microwaves operate at around 2.45 gigahertz, or about 2.45 billion cycles every second. These waves bounce around inside the metal cooking chamber until they're absorbed by water, fats, and sugars in the food. As those molecules rapidly move back and forth, they generate heat through friction, warming your meal from the inside. The important thing is that these microwaves aren't visible. They're energy, not light. And because they're powerful enough to heat food, they also need to stay inside the oven. Take a look inside your microwave, and you'll notice that nearly every surface is metal. That's no accident. Metal reflects microwaves extremely well. Instead of allowing the waves to escape, the walls bounce them around until they eventually reach your food. Think of it like a hall of mirrors, except instead of reflecting light, it's reflecting microwave energy. This enclosed metal box acts as what's known as a Faraday cage, a structure that blocks electromagnetic waves from passing through. But then there's one obvious problem. How do you see your food if the entire oven is surrounded by metal? People naturally want to watch their food while it cooks. Whether it's making popcorn, melting butter, or checking if leftovers are bubbling, a window is incredibly useful. But ordinary glass doesn't stop microwaves very well. If the microwave door were simply a sheet of clear glass, some of the microwave energy could escape every time you used it. That's where engineers came up with an elegant solution. Instead of using plain glass alone, they placed a thin sheet of metal with thousands of tiny holes between layers of glass. That's the metal mesh you see today. The secret isn't just the metal, it's the size of the holes. Microwaves have a wavelength of roughly 12 centimeters, or about 4.7 inches. The holes in the mesh are only around 1 or 2 millimeters across. That's tiny compared to the wavelength of microwave energy. Because the holes are much smaller than the microwaves themselves, the waves simply can't pass through efficiently. Instead, they're reflected back into the oven. Visible light, however, behaves very differently. The wavelength of visible light is less than 1/1000th of a millimeter, far smaller than the holes in the mesh. That means light easily passes through the openings, allowing you to see inside while the microwave energy remains trapped. It's one of those beautifully simple engineering solutions that seems almost magical until you understand the science. Have you noticed that microwave doors often look darker from the outside than from the inside? That's partly because of the mesh. The countless tiny holes block much of the incoming light from the room, making the window appear tinted. Meanwhile, when the microwave light turns on inside the oven, enough light passes through the holes for you to clearly watch your food. It's an optical illusion created by lighting conditions and the design of the mesh itself. Under normal use, the mesh is extremely safe. However, if the door is badly damaged, cracked, bent, or the mesh becomes detached, the microwave should no longer be used until it's repaired. The door isn't just a handle, it's one of the microwave's most important safety systems. Modern microwaves are also equipped with several safety switches that prevent the oven from operating if the door isn't completely closed. Manufacturers also test microwave leakage carefully to ensure the amount escaping during normal operation is far below international safety limits. So while the mesh may look delicate, it's actually part of a carefully engineered shielding system. This is where many people become confused. If the microwave already contains metal walls and a metal mesh, why can't you put a metal spoon or aluminum foil inside? The answer is that not all metal behaves the same way inside a microwave. The smooth metal walls of the oven are specifically designed to safely reflect microwave energy. But loose metal objects, especially those with thin edges or sharp points, can concentrate electric fields. That concentration can create sparks known as electrical arcing. Arcing can damage the microwave or even ignite nearby materials like paper or food packaging. Some specially designed metal cookware is labeled as microwave safe because it's engineered to avoid these problems. So the issue isn't simply metal is bad, it's that certain shapes and types of metal can interfere with how microwaves move inside the oven. The next time you heat up a cup of coffee or warm yesterday's leftovers, take another look at that little window. Behind the glass is a sheet of metal filled with tiny holes, quietly performing one of the microwave's most important jobs. It reflects powerful microwave energy back into the oven while allowing ordinary light to pass through, giving you a clear view of your food without compromising safety. It's a perfect example of how clever engineering often hides in plain sight. The metal mesh isn't there by accident. It's a carefully calculated design that balances visibility, protection, and efficiency, all with nothing more than thousands of precisely sized holes. And like many everyday inventions, it's easy to overlook until you discover the fascinating science behind it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.